Hello, everybody. Barb Pitcock here. No guts, no story. How do you guys like my office today? This was not easy. I just figured out how to use StreamYard on my phone so that I could be with Dave this morning. Beautiful morning on the lake. Fish are biting. It's fall. Oh, do y'all love fall? Oh my gosh. I love this kind of I love that it's not so hot. Look at this. You guys aren't even going to believe it, but I'm bringing the heat. Look what Dave just got. Ooh, crappie, crappie. Y'all are going fishing with me this morning, right? Drop in the comments if you love to go fishing. There's just an incredible energy when you're on the water. And let me tell you guys, I needed it. How many of you need some good energy after this past week?
It was foggy.
It was a foggy week. So a lot has happened since last Saturday. Last Saturday morning, I went live. I was at my daughter's store. We were having a 4-year celebration. The afternoon came, and I told her, I had lost a very good friend the night before on Friday, a friend who fought a long battle, a friend who was literally texting me from the hospital, his business ideas, what he thought I should choose for my business model, talking to me about all his expertise. And I mean, I have some great mentors in my life, and for that, I'm thankful. But today, what I want to talk to you about is something just profound that I heard this morning on an Ed Milet show. Are you the buyer or are you the seller? And it's crazy, you guys, because we all think we're the seller, right? What do you guys sell? Drop in the comments. What do you sell? I want to know. No links. Don't be pitching your company. What do you sell? And what do you sell every single day? I think I'm a seller. So I was listening to it. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely a seller. But actually, I'm not. I'm a buyer. Because a seller is always selling themselves. They are going to not be in the power position. They're constantly trying to sell everybody on why their product, their company, why I have a great idea, why we should eat where I want to eat, why we should go where I want to go. The seller is not really in a position to win. But the buyer says, I'm not buying that. Nope. I don't have to sit at this table. A buyer, write this down. This is so good. Sorry, I have a shadow right going down the middle of my face. Y'all are just going to have to put up with it. It's this, or I would be in my office at the lake house that I want to paint. It's not my color. It's not my zen. I told Dave, I want to do my live from the boat, but I know my media guy needs it on StreamYard so he can edit it for reels, and just going on my phone, bouncing around in the car another Saturday wasn't cool. But here we are, fish number 2. You guys, we're going to count how many we catch on this live. So drop in the comments, how many fish have you seen Dave catch in the first, what is it? We're 3 minutes, 21 seconds into this live. 2 crappie in the boat. We found the mother lode. How many of you guys are ready to find the mother lode? They're stacked up over brush piles. Okay, so the buyer knows what they want. They're willing to walk away from anything that's what they don't want. They're not going to put up with any bullshit, right? They know what their standards are. They walk away if it's not in alignment with them. Good morning, Rebecca Ferris from Arizona. She got to see my kids yesterday, and she's going to see them tomorrow night. Winner, right? So back to my story, you guys. Last Friday, when this good friend of mine lost his battle in the hospital, I was at a vibration where I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe this happened. Like, what am I going to do? And there was nothing I could do. We all have uncontrollables in our life where we feel sad, scared, lonely, upset. I just got fish juice on my face. Literally, he's flopping the fish and the juice is hitting me in the face.
Fish juice is water.
Look at this. We are on number 3 in 4 minutes. You guys are bringing great energy. I don't know if we've ever caught, well, we have, but it's rare to catch 4 crappie in 4 minutes.
I'm damn sure the buyer.
He's damn sure the buyer. But I know that Blake, when I was thinking about this last Friday, Blake would say, it's about the people. You got to keep going. It's about the people. You can't be sad. You can't play the victim. You can't be mad. You can't say it's not fair what happened to Blake, even though it's not fair what happened to Blake. You know, you can't sit and slice and dice this 100 different ways. We are on earth for a very short time, and there is a lot of redemptive suffering that happens while we are here. Today, Blake's fishing. You know, Blake is sitting at the table with the buyer. You know, Blake is seated in a position way better than all of us, but we feel emotion, right? We feel sadness. We feel, gosh, I hope I never get that. We feel anger because this wasn't fair and that wasn't fair. And we feel grief because we miss what was, right? We miss what was. Here's the thing that I know. Tomorrow's a new day. We have to reframe everything that has just happened. We have to find the good. We have to move forward. And honestly, you guys, what we really have to do, we have to be the one that sets the tone, raises the frequency, changes the energy, reframes it all, and says, instead of being sad, I'm going to be so glad that I had so many years calling Blake Graham my friend. The text that he sent me on September 9th will change the trajectory. It will change the paradigm of my entire future because of the decisions we made together, just as a business associate. It doesn't change that you feel sad. It doesn't change that you miss them. You've got to reframe the whole thing and say, this is what I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy the fact that because of that, I learned, I grew, I have wisdom, I took lessons, I have books of notes, screenshots of texts, recordings of interviews and lives that we did together, memories of functions in my home. You know, between Utah and Texas is Kansas. So every time Blake came through with all his kids, hey, I'm headed to my sister's in Texas. Are you guys home? Here's the thing, you guys. Our life on this planet is like this, and it is gone. And the only thing you have is the recorded lives that someone did, the notes that you took from the things that they shared with you, the Kodak moments from the pictures that you captured, and that's it. That's it. Nothing else matters. All we have today is breath. Whatever we do with today is what we're going to have at the end of today. And yesterday is gone. I can't be looking at yesterday, wishing, reflecting, regretting, wondering. I do have one regret. I could not get on a flight to Utah and get back here by this morning. And I have a big day today here in Oklahoma. I could get to Utah for the funeral, but last night at midnight or 1 a.m. I would have been landing, trying to get 4 hours to here. And I got to be fresh today at noon. I got to be on, right? And I just had to weigh it out. Sometimes you have to weigh it out. I am an incredible friend. I am a nurturer. I am a lover. I like to be a fixer. I am a hugger. I wanted to be there, even just to add to the memories that everyone shared. And I wasn't there. I settled for a Zoom. But yesterday morning, 14 phone calls were coming in. Life was happening. All the things, all the businesses, all the distractions, all the people. And I missed the first 10 minutes of the Zoom. It wouldn't connect. It wouldn't connect. It wouldn't connect. And I was patiently waiting all morning for Todd Smith's words, because Todd Smith spent more time with Blake Graham than any friend. I mean, they were business partners. They built a legacy company for 17 years together. Like, they were the face of the company. They were the ones that went from like no millions to like 150 million. I would give them all the credit. They were the pioneers. They were the pioneers. Everybody learned from them. But here's the thing. I wasn't there in person. I was watching on Zoom and I missed it. And I texted them and I said, I was patiently waiting all morning to hear what Todd would say, but I'm sure that it was probably too hard to get up and speak. And Todd and Patty both text me, you missed Todd? Are you kidding me? He was the first speaker. And you know what, guys? I missed it. I missed it. But I'll go back and I'll watch the recording and I'm sure I'll learn and I'll take notes. I'm always looking for the one-liner. I'm always looking for the takeaway. I am like a sponge, you guys. I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to get better. I want to be better. And more than anything, Blake was the buyer. I'll tell you why. Blake would draw a line between what was congruent with him and what wasn't. He knew when to walk away and he knew when to run. And all of you know the lyrics to that song. There was no compromising his character. He was always about the people. I may have to move. I keep getting fish juice and water on my face. We are at, Dave, this is fun. We're at 10 minutes. Another one bites the dust. So anyway, a lot of things that I take from Blake Graham. But yesterday when his children spoke, I was like, oh my gosh. These two beautiful, strong teenage girls standing there with so much conviction, saying things I learned from my dad. But this is the one that I took away that I'm going to hold with me forever. She said, I was the oldest, or she's second to the oldest, but she said, Dad would always tell me, you're the sister. Everyone's fighting. I need you to help me be the peacemaker. And I was like, oh, like I want to go to Arizona and tell that to Lola. I want to go to Arizona and tell that to Knox. You help me. I'm the grandma. I'm trying to watch these 4 little kids. I get them all week next week. I'm so excited. Dave and I are headed out Tuesday night. Be the peacemaker. And I'm going to ask you guys, are you being the peacemaker? Because nobody really wins an argument. And let me tell you the difference in a buyer and a seller. A seller never really feels confident. So when they do, they're the ones that always complain. Like when they finally do get some power, they manipulate you. If you're letting yourself be the seller, you're going to be manipulated. You're going to be used. You're always trying to sell everybody on why you're good enough. You're feeling inferior. You're sitting at a table, putting up with bullshit. You're completely burned out. And you stay at the table because the money is good. You stay in the relationship because you don't want to rock the boat. You're not ever in a power position. So when you do get in a power position, you're like, I'm going to send my steak back. It's not cooked. You know, that kind of stuff. Because you never feel like you have power. Every single one of us needs to be the buyer. Here's why. The buyer says, I'm not selling it for that cheap. Even if they're the seller, they say, I'm not settling for that. Oh, I've had offers on houses. I've had offers to go to different companies. One wasn't even a hard decision for me. We'll give you $1 million if you just want to come here and be a part of this company. But then I'm in that company feeling like I owe that company something because they paid me. Like some of you will be like, for $1 million, I'll sell fish juice. No, not me. You've got to know your worth, you guys. There was another opportunity, Barb. This company is international. You would be amazing at it. They're already doing $1 million a month. This would be a good fit for you guys. It's already there. There are other people, you know, that are part owners, but no, because now I'm the buyer. I'm not buying partner with other people. No, I know what I want. And I want to ask you guys, do you really know what you want? Are you the buyer? Are you the seller? If you want to listen to an incredible podcast, go Google, because I'm taking one little tiny piece of pie out of this hour-long podcast that changed my life forever. Ed Mylett and Dr. Hardy talking about your life. The very last 10 minutes is, are you the buyer or are you the seller? There's very few occasions where you're not able to put yourself in a situation that you're the one buying. Take advantage of the fact that you do have power to make decisions of where you want to be and what you want to put up with. In this life, there might be times where there's 2 buyers at the table. Let me tell you something. I love Lisa Grossman. She's one of the greatest mentors I've ever had. And she was the enroller. She brought Jesse Lee Ward to a company called Prove It. We were at a Most Powerful Women event. I had just lost my income. It was 2018. I was in Las Vegas. And this little company, no, it was 2017. It was just taking off. And she goes, Barb, I got girls making $10,000 a month. You need to jump in here. But I had made a commitment. I was working with Blake. I was a manufacturer. Dave and I were doing great things. And I mean, looking back, I was there when they were all just taking off. And I love Lisa Grossman. But I was doing keto. They were doing keto. We were just in two different companies. But I was able to be around them. I was there at the pink party by the pool. I was getting the picture. I was listening to the conversations. I was watching this whole thing. But I was loyal to my friends. I was loyal. I knew what I needed to do at that time. And I was incredibly loyal to my friends. Now, I want you guys to look at yourself in the mirror and say, what do I stand for? Many people will be swayed by money. Desperate people will do desperate things. I loved having Lisa Grossman as a friend. She stayed my friend because it was more than a friendship over business. It was a friendship that would last for years and years and years. And this year, she was my mentor and my coach in January. When I was making some really tough decisions, was I going to be the buyer and say, I'm not doing this anymore. This is the direction I'm going to go. Or was I going to be the seller? I have a good idea. Listen to me. I want it to be my way. Let's do this. Let's do that. I wish things were different. What are we on, Dave? Is anybody counting how many fish he's putting in? Such a distraction.
So sorry. I told you this is going to happen.
He's so sorry. He said, you should stay home because I'm about to catch a lot of fish. In this life, there can be two buyers at the table. There can be a Lisa Grossman or a Terry LaCour or Ed Milet or who are some giants. There can be a Dave Pitcock. You know, there can be a Fraser Brooks. This week, I had so many great sessions. I had a one-on-one with Eric Worre, going to his house for 4 days, the first 4 days of October. But just because you're able to be around great people doesn't mean that you're not great. You don't have to be desperate. You don't have to buy everything that gets sold to you, every opportunity. I have so many great opportunities. I have some friends that are doing this card thing. And they're like, Barb, you should do it. We got 1,000 people getting on the calls. Oh my God, people are going to get rich. These are my good friends. I might buy the service. I have to have tunnel vision. I love clothes that my daughter sells. I'm not selling them. I'm just going to be a customer. Even though I could make a lot of money and everybody would want to buy them, I can only do so many things. And the psychology you have to have is, why does this matter right now? The Pitcocks are going to do something freaking awesome. I just want you to know. It is going to be mind-blowing, right? I have to be able to say no to certain things and be the buyer that says, I'm not going to buy that right now. I'm not going to do that right now because I have to clear my plate. What is your real why? Let's be clear about this, because there's a lot of people that have a bullshit why. Like they say, oh, I want to do this because I want to serve the Lord. Like, no, why do you really want to do it? Not your sound good thing, but what are you doing what you're doing for? I want to serve the Lord too, but that's not why I'm going live right now on this boat, you know, talking to all of you. I'm doing this because I made a commitment that I would do this every Saturday morning, that I would bring value, that I would build a brand, that I would inspire people. I went to San Juan Mexican restaurant in Russell, Kansas this week. Little town, maybe 3,000 people. I'm never there, even though I grew up there and lived there. And I'm the oldest of 5 and 50 at every event. Like, I got nieces and nephews in every grade. we've got a birthday every week. If you don't believe me, just ask Chance. He's like, Mom, all you do is go to birthday parties. Like, I'm the oldest. I am like the grandma, but I'm not the grandma. We entertain, we do everything, you know, with my family. Let me tell you, I walk into San Juan's Mexican restaurant to get a to-go food the other day. And there is this young guy, doesn't speak a lot of English. He says, "You do video." I said, "Did he just say I do video?" Didn't really understand what he said. I said, "I have a to-go order for Pitcock." He said, "You do video?" I said, "Yes, I do video." He said, "On depression?" I said, "Yes." He walks over. I thought he was going to hand me my food. He hugs me. He said, "I watched video. Keep doing video. I depress. You make me feel good." I got in the car. I was like, oh my God, like this guy's watching my video. What did I say? I go back. I'm like watching my video. What did I talk about? Right? It was the 9/10/93 date, suicide awareness. And I was talking about depression, anxiety, sadness. I do what I do to bring value because one person, the young kid that speaks broken English at the Mexican restaurant that I don't know, might be watching this. And I'm telling you, he probably is. And I loved that. That's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. You don't think I'd like to be sunbathing right now, reading my book? I brought my whole suitcase on the boat because I got things to do, right? But I want to be with Dave. But I'm still going to sacrifice and do what I said I was going to do because this is my purpose. This is my passion. Fish juice on the face. I think you're shaking them every time you get them off. Okay. They're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Dave's doing his passion. I'm doing mine, right? So how do you figure that out? How do you create purpose? I pay for coaching in a mastery course with Jessie Lee Ward. And last Saturday, I was at Callie's right after I did my live. And she had just gone live and said, the cancer is gone. She was crying. The cancer is gone. I don't know why I have so much pain, she said. But the cancer is gone. Praise Jesus. And I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. I hurt. I have so much pain, but the cancer is gone. And if you guys go look back on my last Thursday, a week and 2 days ago, I'm like, pray for my friend Jessie Lee. Because all of a sudden she was in the hospital. And I'm texting Lisa Grossman. I'm like, what is going on? She goes, I don't know. I said, I'm thinking about having a Zoom and get all my prayer warriors. She goes, stop thinking about it, Barb, in all caps. Pray. And I was like, this is a serious thing. I didn't know what was going on. And you guys, within 24 hours, 2 of my favorite mentors, friends, speakers, legends, 2 legends who have made more money than most, who have touched more lives than most, who have a bigger following than most, were just gone. Like, I was at Callie's. I walked behind her store because I broke my toe in the bathtub. And I said to Callie, I'm going to walk behind you and get a pedicure to cut this because it hurts so bad. And I'm literally sitting in the pedicure throne on the phone with Callie saying, I'm right behind your store, 1 block behind your store. I'm just going to get my toes done. And I hung up on her because, like, Callie, another one of my friends, just passed away. And it was so unexpected, you guys. It literally rocked the world, not just the nation, the world. Because this girl was 35 years old. She is the face of the biggest company that my partner has in his entire portfolio. Like, of all the companies that the guy that Dave and I work with owns, I mean, Prove It is the biggest company he owns. And it's the baby, like, it's the one that, like, grew and blew up of all. So everyone I work with is like best friends with this girl who I pay her for mentoring and coaching. And I learn from her, but it's not like I spend every day with her. But my coach, my friend, Lisa Grossman, like, it's like a daughter to her. So all of a sudden it is like crickets. Nobody knows what to say or do or post or think And Ed Milet was the first one that posted. And of course, I'm like, that's her coach. I think I'm going to follow him. I think I'm going to learn from him. Because if I can't learn from her, I think I'll learn from whoever she was learning from. Because I want to be better. I want to grow. I want to build a legacy. So I did. I reached out. I start learning from him. I get a text on Tuesday. Hey, it's Jessie Lee here. Jump on my mastery course. She's not even here anymore. Her system, her legacy is still going. I get on there. I don't know what's going to happen. It's noon. And it's Fraser Brooks, probably the biggest social media trainer, amazing coach. He can't talk. He feels like he's going to cry. He doesn't know what to say. Nobody knows what to say or do. All we know is this. She was here and she was gone. And it is so final, you guys. It is so final. All week I was like, I'm going to do a live. And I was like, I can't. But I think my crying tear ducts are emptied completely out. Like I drove for 7 hours home and I cried. And I drove back here 7 hours till 1 a.m. and I cried. And I listened and I was like, what is happening? Let me tell you what happened for me, you guys. I made a decision. No more messing around. You could be gone tomorrow. Are you going to be the buyer? And you're going to say, I'm not buying that. This is what I'm going to do. I'm changing how I eat. I'm changing what I eat. I'm changing what I drink. I'm changing what I listen to. I'm changing who I hang around. I'm changing my schedule to put the most important things, and not all the other things. You can't just say, oh, this is my purpose. You really have to create a mission statement that's not the bullshit purpose, not like the sound good thing, but like, what do you stand for? So that's what I did this week. Here's the thing. I'm going to change the world. I'm going to help people raise their vibration and their frequency. I am going to teach and train people how to take your past and reframe it that it was all amazing. You didn't make any mistakes. You didn't have any bad turns. Every single thing that happened to you happened so you could be exactly where you're at right now. And it's never too late to reframe it, find the good, and say, that doesn't serve me. I'm not going to do that anymore. Be honest about what it is that you love. I love people. I love helping people. But let me tell you guys something that might shock you. Yesterday, my realtor said, why do you want to buy that land to build your dream home? I picture you on Monkey Island. And I said, nah. He goes, why wouldn't you want to be over there where the nightlife, the bands, the country club, the golf, the pool? I said, because I don't like people. He looked at me like, what? I mean, I love people, but I don't want to be around all the people because I want to be at the table with the buyers. I want to be at the table who I can control the proximity around me. That is the most important thing in my life, is the proximity of the energy, the frequency, and the people around me. Now, don't get me wrong. I pick up homeless people. I take homeless people to my house. I feed homeless people. My mom brings them to Christmas. She owns a campground. We invite a lot of strangers into our home. We help a lot of people. We don't need to be helping, but we do it because it's our purpose. It's our passion. But I control my environment. I control the people that I hang around. I get to decide who I'm going to hang around, what they're going to do to me, and is that going to be okay? Now, if you take LeBron James and you say LeBron James is a peak performer, LeBron James has days where he performs. He has days where he doesn't perform. All he does is work on his craft, get better. And he has free days where he does what he needs to do to get his energy right. Some of you are just work. You're the seller. You're selling everybody on why and what and how. And you have no control over your energy. You have no control over where you're going to be, when, who you're going to be with, what you're going to be doing. The people around me, this is what I ask. Do the people around me believe in me? Write these down. Do the people around me believe in me? Do the people around me support my vision for the future? Or, you got to write this down, do they reinforce your past? I'm going to add people in my proximity who believe in me, who reinforce what I'm trying to do in the future. It's critical to you being successful that the people you are around are projecting what you are going to do with them in this future that you have, which is maybe one day, maybe 100 days, maybe 100 months. We don't know. Or do they talk about the past? Because 75% of the people that you're hanging around are living today based on what they've always done, and it's all about the past. Success and progress towards a worthy ideal, a goal that we have, something that we're trying to do, a result we're trying to achieve. We can't just react. We have to visualize. Here we go. What is this? Show us, Dave.
No, it's like number 2 or 3.
Losing count. 30 minutes in?
Like the second one, third.
I think we almost have our limit. Thoughts are the currency which buy your dreams. Write this down. Your thoughts are the currency which buy your dreams. Be the buyer. Say, I'm not letting that in my thoughts. I'm not doing that right now. The most powerful force is what goes in our ears and what is in our mind. Expectations of our peer group. These guys are leaving. They're in a fishing tournament and they're like, what in the world is this girl even talking about or doing? They're trying to catch fish and I'm over here talking loud in a camera. Huh? They should have listened more. Dave's listening. He's catching all the fish. But the most powerful force is the expectations that we are surrounded around with our peer group. So, relationships. Ask yourself, does this person I'm around all the time believe in me? Are they supporting where I want to go and what I'm doing? Or are they questioning you? And every single thought you have, every idea, every move, every plan, do they question you? Do they accept me? Or do they make me a better version of who I am? I hang around people who are talking about the future and the present, not the past. Now, if you want to double your income, that's one thing. But this podcast I listened to said, your choice is you've got to frame the past as an asset. Everything that happened in the past is our asset. You guys, that was hard for me this week. My friend that passed away was a legend. Both of them were. But the one that I worked with closely should have died a multi-millionaire to where his mom, his children, his brothers, sisters, his wife, they would never, ever have to worry about anything ever because of the value that he brought to this earth. But because of unfortunate things in the past, I could easily be bitter, angry, say it wasn't fair. Here we are, another fish. You guys, Dave's just showing off at this point. He is just showing off at this point.
I'm trying to walk by you quietly and not brag. You were the one showing off.
I'm showing off. No, I'm married to a fisherman. I'm married to a fisherman who has the catch of his life right here.
Well, I'm the damn buyer.
You're the buyer. He said, I won't settle for anything less. I'm getting Barb Zorn. And he did. I think we're both buyers. Two buyers can be at the table. Many conversations this week. It's not fair what happened to Blake. It's not fair what those people did to him. It's not fair the stress level he had. But you know what? I kindly shared the GoFundMe. And as I shared it, I didn't make a lot of comments. I just said, this man was amazing. If you feel like you can help his family, please do. But oh my goodness, you guys, back in the day, I could have wrote the editorial for the local newspaper. I could have went on a rant on YouTube, TikTok. I could have burnt the house down with past emotions and feelings. Here's what I have to do. I have to reframe it. Because of what I learned with my friend, these are the lessons that we took away. Because of that time that Blake and I were fighting a battle together, We had incredible prayer and conversations. Because of that situation, we grew. We learned. We said, as the buyer, I won't ever put myself in that situation again. I learned, I grew, I'm grateful for the lessons. And you know what? That's what Blake would say too. Just like his daughter said, be the peacemaker. Be the peacemaker. You don't have to talk shit on everybody. You don't have to share everything negative. You don't have to text about everything that happened in the past because it doesn't matter. What you're texting about from the past, what you're sharing from the past, what you're still bitter about from the past is keeping you from an incredible future. Reframing it. There's a great book called The Thinking Cure. And it's funny because my husband wrote a book called The Thinking Cure. And I've learned this ever since I've been married to him. But I hear it from Ed Milet and Dr. Hardy, and I'm like, aha, this is amazing. Dave, you got to listen to it. It's about reframing. And I'm married to the teacher of reframing, right? But sometimes, just like your kids won't listen to you, you have to hear it from someone else. And Dave stopped me several times this week and said, Barb, listen to what you're saying. Does that belief serve you? Or what do I need to do to make that belief serve me? What do I need to do to make the past that happened reframed to where it serves me? What do you need to do to make it serve you? You got to be the buyer. There's 3 ways that you mess up. You spend your time doing the wrong things that are moving you slowly away from what you really want. You set goals, number 2, that aren't big enough, they aren't high enough. And you don't ever stop and say, here's where I'm at, here's where I want to be, what do I need to do to get me there? Or you're doing the right thing, you're in the right company, you're with the right people, you're not just doing it the right way. See, nobody gets stirred up and excited about doubling what they have. But when there is psychological flexibility and you go look at your crazy dream house, my dream house down the street sold a couple days ago. And I drove here and I told the realtor, I said, I know we've looked at it 20 times. It's ugly right now. I need to go look at it to see the vision of how I want to make it. I want the square footage. I don't like the dock. Like, I need to change it. But I said, I need you to book an appointment so I can just go walk through it. Because when I walk through 3 times the square footage and I visualize, things line up for me. And he looked at me and he goes, well, we can't walk through it. It's sold. I said, my house on my street sold? He goes, yeah. Dave goes, Barb, it's not your house. It's not your house. There's a better thing. So yesterday, I had to go work on my dream. I had to go look for something new that would stir me up, because happiness, you guys, success is you working on a worthy ideal, something bigger. Why would I want to work this hard on the project I'm working on right now? Why would I sell the Cardinal house that was such a labor of love and invest all that money into science and development? Why would I sell properties that were making me money like a jammed slot machine and put it all somewhere into something that I thought could be bigger? And I'll tell you guys why. Passion. I'm sick and tired of losing people to an evil disease that I don't want anywhere in my life. And I believe there's ways that you can do it. If you don't believe me, go Google it. Go Google it. Just go Google, how do I raise my frequency to not be sick? How do I not have dis-ease? Well, it starts with your relationships. Dis-ease causes disease. So the first thing you got to do is fix the people in your closest proximity. And you might have to add a few that help raise you up. And if you don't have friends like that, pay for it. Buy the coaching. I'm paying Eric Worre. I'm paying Jessie Lee Ward Mastery. And it's going on even long after she's not here. I'm paying. I'm on with Fraser Brooks. I'm listening. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm not even asking how much it costs. I'm just like, I need in that circle. Because in order for me to change the world, I got to be around some world changers. And not to be mean or like, I mean, I don't find a lot of them in Russell, Kansas, where I live. I don't find a lot of people that are like, let's go, Barb. Let's go. Let's do this so big. Oh my God, you got this. Let's go. Let's go. No, I hang around my family that I love and they believe in me, but none of them are like, you need to get up earlier and you need to work harder. You need to make more money. You need to give more money. You need to build an empire. Yeah, my brother Mark. Yeah, he doesn't sleep. And my brother Jeremy. Yeah, actually all my family. Yeah, my whole family's a bunch of buyers. They actually are. They do have a disease. It's called never stop working, right? Never stop dreaming, never stop buying. Like they're movers and shakers. But other than my siblings and my children are the ultimate buyers, always pushing me. Even my daughter Brooklyn, who can be at her lowest point, will look at me and say, Mom, that doesn't sound like something you would say. Why would you even say something like that? Well, here's the reason, guys. Sometimes we fall off the wagon. Sometimes we lose our cool. Sometimes we're not operating at our optimal performance. And that's why you got to have this sense of self-determination. What gives you self-determination? It's who you're listening to. It's how do I be motivated that I'm going to be the biggest, that I'm going to be the best, that I'm going to change the world, that I'm going to break all records? How do I have so much conviction on that right now? Because I believe I have a choice. If you tell your children you have no choice but to do this, then you're making them the seller. They have to buy into whatever you say, right? It's one of the only times in their life they should listen to anyone else. It has to be a non-negotiable that you know you're the leader. I'm not telling you how to build your business. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not giving you a bunch of rules. You take your purpose. You take your passion. You go do what you need to do. I don't care what you sell. You can go sell clothing. I got friends selling jewelry. I got friends in my millionaire mastermind that are #1 $1 million earners selling jewelry. I can't imagine me doing that because I want to help people get healthy. I want to change people's lives with a product. I want to help them prevent the very things that have caused me more pain than anything in my life. I want to help them mentally, preventing awareness of depression and suicide and anxiety and bipolar disorders. And like, I mean, I'm not making any claims right now because I have nothing to sell you guys, but I'm telling you, I'm the buyer. And I'm only buying what is going to serve me, what is going to help others, what is going to create an incredible culture, what is going to make an impact in the world, what is going to shake my industry, what is going to be trending, what is going to be viral, what is going to be the next biggest thing out there, you guys. What is it? You need to dig down deep and say, what is your purpose? What is your passion? What are you going to do about it? If you're that mad about the disease, if you're that mad about depression, if you're that angry about suicide, people taking a temporary situation and making a permanent decision, get the person on your podcast. Like, I'm going to have Kevin Hines on here. I'm going to have Michael DeLeon on here. I'm not asking anybody for permission. I know what I'm doing. Because I've had enough people say, Barb, if you're that passionate about it, just go do it. Now, let me tell you guys, it might cost you some money. You might lose some friends. You might lose some income. You might have people tell you that you're crazy. You might have some people unfollow you. Good. Let them go suck the life out of somebody else. You don't need them in your proximity. You don't need the mean people. You don't need the people that gossip. You don't need the people that tear down the empire. You don't need the people that jump into something different every week because they're a seller. They're selling everybody on why, they need to listen to them. Like, just go be a pillar like Jesse Lee Ward. Go stand for something like Blake Graham. Be famous because of what you believe in. All you got to do is be authentic. All you got to do is say, I'm making big changes in my life with meaning. Progress starts, this is a AA quote, but Progress starts with you telling the truth. Admit what you want. What do you really want? Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about it. I want to change the world. I want to be an icon. I want to have impact. I want to build a household name. I believe I will. I know I'm going to. Nothing will stop me. Do you have conviction like that? Are you willing to sacrifice temporarily to have something long term for the rest of your life? The why and the how are two different things. My why is so big, it doesn't matter how it's going to happen. If I had to delete my Facebook, had no followers, nobody I've ever had as a customer before, and you dropped me in Hawaii on the island at Disney's Aulani Resort. I had this vision when I was there with my grandkids. If I knew nobody, and the only people I knew were the ones sitting around the pool chasing their grandkids, and I couldn't get in the sun, I had to wear the sunproof shirt, have my little hat on, and be under the umbrella, I'd still build an empire. Because I know and believe so strongly in what I'm doing, nobody will tell me no. I think you all should dig deep and say, what is it that you can believe in? Is it jewelry? Is it activewear? Is it makeup? Is it skincare? Is it nutrition? Is it personal development? Is it real estate? Like, I love all the things. I love real estate. I love being the buyer and the seller. But I don't buy anybody's offer unless I'm coming up, because I have boundaries. I know my worth. You all need to know your worth. I have a salon. I have retail stores. I have a factory. I have a distribution center. I've got to be a LeBron James. I've got to stop doing all the things, hone in on my craft, get rid of all the things that are a distraction. Even if they make me money, I can't say yes to every opportunity. I've got to be the buyer that says, I'm not going to buy into managing all this anymore. I'm going to go be great. What's taking your time? What's taking your energy? Who's in your proximity? Who do you need to add to your proximity that believes in you, that wants to run with you? You get to decide who's going to sit at your table, and align yourself with the kind of people that you really want to work with. I'm telling you guys, all of us could be gone by next Saturday. Last Saturday, if you would have told me that the Saturday before, Jessie Lee Ward was going to be gone by Saturday, even she went live and said, the doctors told me I wouldn't make it till October, but here I am and the cancer is gone. It's heartbreaking, you guys. It's heartbreaking when you see the company owner say, I was sitting there and she said, Brian, I'm scared. I have so many things I want to do. I have so many ideas, so many things I wanted to do. It's so sad, you guys. And here is the thing. All of you have so many things that you want to do. All of you do. Why don't you go do them? Who's putting the lid on you? Who's stopping you? Your peers, your family. In some cases, it's your own spouse. Like, I have so many people on my team. They're like, I could just get my husband on board. Do it without him. Like, when's the last time I asked Dave, like, hey, do you care if I do this? I mean, I probably do. But I guarantee you he's not stopping me from doing anything, because I'm a buyer. And you are too. You just need someone to tell you that. What you're going to buy, what you're not going to buy. There's always somebody being sold. Always. And you know what I love most about Jessie Lee Ward? Before she was big, she said, I'm the #1 networker in the world. Dave always trains about Muhammad Ali. Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. What does he say, Dave? Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I'm Muhammad Ali. Like, that's how he became great. Well, Jessie Lee Ward was saying, I'm the greatest networker in the world. I'm the people's mentor. I'm the #1 networker in the world. And Fraser Brooks on our training said, even though when she wasn't, everybody would question and hate in her comments, and they would send her documentation and all this stuff, she didn't care. Because in her mind, she was the greatest in the world. And honestly, I told everybody that for years. She's the greatest in the world. She's the number one earner. Nobody can touch her. Nobody's ever done what she's done. And I think if you look back over her life, she did more in 35 years than most people would do in 70. She didn't have parents. Her grandma raised her. She grew up in a not very good environment. She got her start selling sex toys. And she was selling like party plan stuff. Her original lives are in a bathtub. She came a long way. And she literally became famous and a legend and an icon because she believed this is what I'm going to do and nobody's going to stop me. She had great mentors in her life. I want those mentors. She had Terry LaCour. She had Brian. She had Lisa Grossman. She had Eric Worre. She went to all the things. She listened to Fraser Brooks. She hired Ed Milet. You guys, it's free. Go to YouTube. Don't tell me you can't afford it. Don't tell me you don't have time. Go to YouTube. Get in your car like I do. Drive 6 hours. Get no distractions and just listen and learn. I drive. You guys would laugh so hard. Let me see if I can find. I drive with one hand on streets where there is nobody because I live in the boondocks. And I write. One of the girls in my coaching group said, hey, send me your notes and I'll rewrite them for everybody on the coaching team. I mean, I write sideways like this. Like I write while I drive. Like it's insane. But I'm trying to get it all because when I write, then it goes from my head to the pen. And then I have like all these nuggets, like, and she never gave up. She never gave up. You need to get yourself a little pink book, a little black book, and you need to start gathering all the nuggets. What did Blake Graham say? It's about the people. What did Blake Graham teach his children that they passed on? Be the peacemaker. Be the peacemaker. When I would listen to Jessie Lee Ward every Tuesday, and then she changed it to Thursday when she got sick because she was there in the hotel, she would play songs about breaking records and being an overcomer and coming up. Like the first part of her Zoom was just music. She would be like, did you hear them lyrics? Did you guys hear my song? Did you hear my lyrics? And then she would come on sick or well, looking good or not looking good. She was showing up because she was the people's mentor. She was doing accelerator training. She was doing mastery training. Here's the thing, guys. Look at your proximity. Who's all around you? Do they believe in you or do they not? I would get text messages even a year and a half ago from people in my downline or people in my sideline, people that might question me, people that might, I mean, I don't care if you question me. But if it's your ego, get away from me. Just get away from me, right? That is edging God out. I don't need people that have egos in my little proximity. I need people that are humble, people that are full of love, people that talk about opportunity, people that have vision. I don't want to be around people that talk around people. That's why I go to my salon late at night and early in the morning. I go tan when it's closed. I try to get my hair done late. And here's why. I love people, but I can't afford the conversations of everyone. It's like a buffet, you know? Whatever you put in is going to come out. You can go straight to all the sugar and the pudding and all that. I told Dave yesterday, I said, Dave, we got to alkalize our body. We got to raise our frequency. We have to get rid of all dis-ease. We got to be at the top of our game. Like we're both thinner than we've ever been. We're more fit than we've ever been. We're happier than we've ever been. We have more excitement than we've ever been. I said, we have to eat colorful. And Dave comes out of Casey's with a roll of bottle caps. And he said, you told me we need to eat colorful. I said, that's a joke. That's not going to serve us. You know, it's okay if you want to cheat sometimes, but you guys got to think our bodies are like a garden. I planted 4 trees yesterday in front of a property that we're selling or renting. We don't know what we're doing. And the lady said, stick some little things in there to fertilize those little evergreens. because, you want to fertilize them and then they'll grow really good. And I was thinking, it's like our bodies. Our bodies are mostly water. Our bodies are all about vibration. Everything is vibration. The frequency of our thoughts changes our organs. That's why Jessie Lee said, I have had some dis-ease in my life that caused disease. She said, I have made some choices that weren't the healthiest. And I will never forget her words. Get rid of dis-ease, make healthy choices. It's okay if you want to screw around sometimes, maybe not always be at the top of your game with your diet. But if you're growing a garden, and this body is the only place we got to live. If we don't take care of it, I don't know where we're going to live. If you're growing a garden, don't you want to put in the greens? Don't you want to put in the minerals? Don't you want to raise the vibration? Don't you want to fertilize the soil? Don't you want to take care of what's up here and feed this as much as you feed this? Don't you want to make sure it's good water, not pond water? Don't you want to be around people who are raising your vibration, not lowering it? Don't you want to make sure that what you're taking is a clean label, not a bunch of cancer-causing parabens? I'm crazy about this now because I've lost so many people that I love so much, and I just want to do anything I can to not have to experience that pain ever again if I don't have to. And I will do it like crazy from here until my last breath. That's all you're going to hear about. You're going to get sick of it. Did you just catch another one?
3.
It is not number 3, you guys. We have caught the mother load of fish while we've been on here. So I have lots of notes, too much to share. In closing, life is short, guys. All progress starts by telling the truth. What do you want? What do you not want? If you don't know what your calling is, be honest with yourself. Don't just pursue goals that are sound good goals. Don't just say, oh, I want to double it. I want to get double. No, let's go 10 times, guys. Let's go 10 times bigger than we've ever gone. Let's change 10 times the lives that you've ever changed. Let's make 10 times the money that you've ever made. Let's make 10 times the impact, right? And maybe you spend every day with your husband on a boat. Maybe you start a podcast where you interview people. Maybe you buy your dream home and you be the one that entertains your whole family on all the holidays. I don't know what's most important to you, but to me, God's the most important, then my family, and then my business. But my business from here on out will be serving, loving, impacting, changing people's lives, giving back. It's going to be epic. And without all of the pain that I've had over the last 12, 14 months, 48 months, even 5 or 10 years, I wouldn't be so passionate about what I'm passionate about. So I hope you guys feel it. I hope that you are having a beautiful day with your loved ones. And I hope that you do something that will raise your frequency, something that will feed your soul, something that will help you feel happier. And if you didn't get anything else out of what I said today, be careful who's in your closest proximity and what they are doing to you, because you are the buyer and they're selling you on what you're worth. They're selling you on the future. They're selling you on where you can live, what you can drive, how you're going to dress, when you're going to get lunch, when you're going to get to take a vacation. And all you have to do is take a hold of that pen, flip the script, make a plot twist, and say, it might take some temporary sacrifice, but I'm not going to be sold on this anymore. I'm going to take control. So if you're watching the replay, say replay. If you watched it live, say live. What's the one takeaway you got from today out of everything that we've shared? What is the one takeaway? Please drop that in the comments. And if you would, share, share, share. That's the only way we're going to reach. Like the kid that was in the Mexican restaurant that said, I heard your video. You changed my life. I am depressed. I mean, he could barely speak English, but I got the message. And I'm telling you guys, we can give so many people so much hope. All we have to do is share. So thank you so much for tuning in. My name's Barb Pitcock every single Saturday, No Guts, No Story. No matter where I'm at and what I'm doing, I will be showing up here for you. And I hope that you got some value out of today's broadcast. Have a good day, everyone.